Okay. All right. So we saw the introduction about generally our human pursuit and how we seek happiness, and who is the seeker of Vedant, who has seen through the aspects of life and understood its temporary nature and wants to realize that which is the supreme, but wants Paramananda Prapti and Atyantika Dukkha Nivritti. Now, when we pursue happiness in the world, we do get some desires fulfilled and we do experience pleasure, etc. But they have certain limitations also. So the pleasure that we get is that which is mixed with happiness, with pain, sorry. So there's a dukkha mishratva. Like if we eat, let us say we are eating some paisam, some stone comes. Like that, when we are enjoying some pleasure, there's a pain inherent in that. That is called dukkha mishratva dosha. Then we also have the atripti dosha, where we experience some enjoyment, we relish it, but it doesn't give tripti. It means fulfillment. Person again craves either for the same thing or something else. What we want is permanent happiness, gaining which nothing more remains to be gained, where one feels fulfilled, completely satisfied, purnatvam one experiences. So there is dukkha mishratva, there is atripti dosha, and there is bandhatva dosha. It binds, where it can leave a craving further, which will make me desire again. And as we know that desires become the cause of more and more births. So what is that which will help us to be freed from all the three? Is there an ananda which is not mixed with pleasure and which is not mixed with pain? Dukkha mishratva, it is not mixed with pain, which can help us to be tripta and which can remove the bondage. That knowledge which helps us to attain the self, because when it is not explored, when you explore in the world outside and it is not found, then one turns within. That knowledge is the knowledge of the Upanishads. And so the Upanishads are the end portion of the Veda, and so it is called Veda Anta. Last time we also saw about this, the um, beautiful line from the Vedanta Sar, Vedanto Nama Upanishad Pramanam. So Vedant Upanishads are the valid means of knowing this truth, of knowing the self, the Atma. Like we see, the eyes can see the form, but the ears can't see. The ears can hear the sound, eyes can't hear the sound. So the valid means is required for the knowledge to arise. If there is a knowledge that has to rise, a valid means has to be used by the user to contact the object of knowledge, then the knowledge will arise. Pramata, Pramana, and Prameya, that is called. So the Pramata is the person who is the knower. Then Prameya is that which is to be known. Pramana is the valid means. So Pramata is I. Let us say this computer is the Prameya. Now how will I see the computer? So I have to use the eyes to see the computer. Eye is the Pramana. Same way, mind becomes the Pramana for us to experience some feeling. So feeling is Prameya. I want to experience emotion of love, of happiness, of anger, of sorrow, whatever it is. Then through the mind we experience. So all the senses for the physical world of perception, all the emotions for the for that the mind has to be used. Then for all the ideas, thoughts, creativity, innovation, logic, for that the buddhi is the pramana. So like Gurudev used to say in the BMI chart, through the body I perceive the object, through the mind I feel the emotions, through the intellect I think the thoughts. All these are functioning, no doubt. But what is that which enlivens all of these? That is the Atma. The knowledge of that Atma, body, mind, intellect cannot gain by themselves. They can only gain the objective world knowledge. And when we say world in Vedanta, it means all the three objects, emotions, thoughts, not only what we perceive. So that knowledge which will reveal this self to us is the knowledge of Upanishad. That is called the Shabda Praman. Through the words of a teacher who is established in the truth, when this knowledge is revealed in the traditional way, in the way in which the Shastra mentions, which is to make the student realize it as it's the student's own true nature. That knowledge is called Upanishad. And so Vedanto Nama Upanishad Pramanam. So Upanishad does not mean a book. It is also in the form of a book, but it is not only a book. It is the knowledge which is then enshrined in the books. Like physics is not a book. Physics books are there, but physics is the science. Same way, Upanishad is the science, subjective science of knowing. Why is it called subjective science? Because it's a science of the subject, aham, I. Who am I? In my true nature, not the adjectives. Body, mind, intellect, as we just saw, is a equipment. We use the equipment to gain knowledge of objects, emotions, and thought. But who am I? That I, what is its true nature? We you say I. What is the nature of that I? We have mistaken that to be something it is not. So the Atma word means I. But today that Atma word is mixed up with the Anatma. So the body, mind, intellect is not the Atma, but I think I am that. So I am this body, I am this Mr. So and so, son of so and so. All those are our adjectives actually, connected to the body, mind, intellect. But we think we are that and we don't know who we are. So that knowledge which reveals the nature of the self to us is the knowledge of Upanishads. It also reveals, when we understand that what is the nature when it is revealed, we understand it is the very source of the whole creation. If there is a creation that we are seeing, from where it has come, from the divine source which is infinite consciousness, that is us in our true nature. And so that which tells us about the jiva, that which tells us about the jagat, the true nature of both these, and both these are appearances of Jagadishvara, infinite consciousness. So one which reveals the essence, one that which reveals the essential oneness of all the three, Jiva, Jagat, Jagadishvara, is Upanishad. And so the Upanishads, as I said earlier, they are found in the end of the Vedas, most of them, but some of them may be there in the middle also, and in the some of them may be in the Karma Kand portion also. So the divisions we saw last time, Mantra and Brahmana, Samhita portion, then the Aranyaka, which are upasanas. So Mantra Brahmana have the rites, rituals. It is more of the karma aspect, with which one fulfills desires, but one sees the limitation of that desire fulfillment, all the doshas which it has. One wants to go deeper, so one comes to Aranyaka, where one learns to meditate, withdraw from the things outside, make the mind single pointed, do upasanas, attain certain things through the upasanas also, apart from devotion, etc. Whatever, whichever devata, etc., one worships, one gets blessed from them, gets blessings also from them. And so, subtler it is, more of mental processes. And then comes the Jnana Kand, which is the Upanishad. So, Shankaracharya ji gave beautiful meanings of the word Upanishad. We will see that in the Kathopanishad he gives beautiful meanings. So Kathopanishad, when he uh, wrote the commentary, the introduction, in that he gives very nice meanings where he says this, that Upanishad Shabdena Vidya iti uchyate. With the word Upanishad, what is indicated is Vidya. Grantha is a secondary meaning, or the book is a secondary meaning. It is the knowledge. Now, how is the knowledge gained? I can read a book, I can listen to an audio, I can nowadays whatever podcasts are there, and so many talks are there on channels and all that. But this is not verbal knowledge. This is intuitive knowledge, because what I think about myself is in my mind. That insight by which the false notions that I have in my mind about myself are removed. So that I can read and my thoughts are changed, I will also change. This is not about I as a individual entity who thinks positive thoughts, who thinks negative thoughts, and so the positive, negative is replaced by the positive. That transformation definitely is needed, no doubt. But we are talking about that which transcends body, mind, intellect. That intuitive knowledge by which this avidya is destroyed, ignorance is destroyed, that is the knowledge of Upanishad. So we may hear, we may read, but the knowledge has to arise in the intellect, purified intellect, which makes one go beyond the intellect. That intuitive realization that I am not this BMI, that knowledge, when it has to arise, that is how will it arise? Not by simply reading. Like a lamp which is lit. So there has to be a lamp which is lit. From that you can light another lamp. Now, limitation of example here, don't say which was the first lamp which was lit. For that first matchstick which was lit. They are not like that. Adi Guru is Bhagavan himself. That Lord Sadashiva Samarambham, when we say, or Narayanam Padma Bhavam Shaktim Chitat Putra Parasharam Cha, that whole Guru Parampara from Bhagavan Narayana or Bhagavan Shiva, whichever one says, from the Lord the knowledge comes, and then the Lord only appears as the Guru and passes it on. Generation after generation, this knowledge has come down. So that knowledge which we gain at the feet of a realized master is Upanishad. Upa means near. Ni means nitaram, with firm determination. Sad means to sit. To sit with firm determination at the feet of a master and gain this knowledge is the knowledge of the Upanishad. So we go close. Upa means to go close. Why do I go close to the teacher? Close does not mean only physical proximity. Close meaning go towards the teacher and sit there, because the qualities we imbibe. Going closer to the teacher is to imbibe the qualities of the teacher, the purity, the knowledge, the tapasya, all those qualities one imbibes. Like how we go close to fire, we feel the warmth, we feel the light, the heat. Same way, going close to the teacher is not only physical proximity. There are some people who may be physically close to the teacher, staying in the same ashram, maybe serving the teacher also, but mentally not absorbing anything. And there can be somebody who is very far from the teacher, living somewhere else, but mentally tuned up, is close to the teacher. Physical proximity definitely helps, there is no doubt. Today we know that very well. online classes and offline classes. There's a big difference or not? When we connect offline, the energy levels are different, how we absorb is different, we see each other, interaction happens. So there is a whole different impact. Same way, when the student is close to the teacher, directly listening from the teacher, Acharya Mukha Shravanam Kuryat, one listens from the mouth of the teacher, meaning one's in the proximity. One should listen like that. So when one is in that proximity, upa, and then sad means to sit at the feet, meaning sit with humility, sit with that eagerness to learn, sit with that single pointedness, where nothing is important at this point in time. I want the knowledge of the self with full dedication, devotion, focus, intensity. One sits there to gain the knowledge. Each class also how we sit. We may be listening to Upanishad for many years. The same Upanishad you must have heard for many times also, some of you may have heard. But how do I sit? I sit with that ni. Ni means nishtha or nitaram. It can mean both. With great intensity, I sit to gain the knowledge, not that, okay, this speaker said that, that speaker said that. We are comparing two speakers, or we are figuring out this already I know, this already I know. This something new, or nothing new today. Then it's only some intellectual pursuit. But if I'm sitting with that intensity that I want to know who am I, Swamiji, that I've heard many times, Am Brahmasmi, tell something new. Then we are not interested in the truth. We are interested in the expressions of the truth, flowery language and some joke, some anecdote, some, intellectual gymnastics that is called. How do we sit Nitaram, Nishtha? To attain that Nishtha, to gain Atma Nishtha, to gain abidance in the self, with that hunger. Like, see how food, now when we eat food, some people eat the same food or not. They love it. Every day they have to get curd rice. I'm just giving an example, and nothing against such people or any curd rice, okay? They need curd rice every day. Lunchtime curd rice has to be there. Each time they're eating, oh, they enjoy, they relish it. It's not again curd rice. The mind has not got fed up with it. It loves it. It enjoys. So just because I've heard something again and again, it does not mean that it becomes mechanical for me or I already know it. How eagerly one eats that food. So not even the same dish, let us say. Food we are eating or not 3-4 times a day. Hunger is there and one eats. That hunger to know the self, that I don't know the self. I know information, I may know certain logic, I may know certain thought process in the Upanishad, I've heard about it, but what is that self? Trying to know that. With that intensity one sits, that I want to know the Atma. Initially, when we listen, we are listening to gain the knowledge. Some information is new that may fascinate us, some logic, some thoughts are new. We may make notes, etc. All that is great. But the purpose of all that is, I want to know who am I. Does that pinch me? Remember in the first class we spoke about that. That one feels the limitation, or that one feels bondage. One has seen through the various things in the world, power, pleasure, popularity, prestige, all that one has seen through. One feels limited, one feels bound, one feels unfulfilled, there's some emptiness, there's hollowness. One may escape from it through other 10 different ways, but it is there. That's why I'm escaping it. So when one feels that, then one wants freedom from that. That's why our scriptures say it is roga. See, when there is a roga, we are not in a state of ease. We are in disease. Roga is a disease. So I'm not at ease. So when I'm not at ease, then what is my feeling? My feeling is I want to get out of this state. I don't like this state. This is not my natural state. Health is our natural state. Disease is not our natural state. So when we are healthy, we are at ease. Bhava roga we have. constant thirst to become something, and no matter what we become, we are still not experiencing fulfillment. So, if one understands this is a the sense of limitation which is there, it, I want to get out of that. That intense desire to get out of that. That is called mumukshutvam. So, a seeker who sits at the feet of a teacher is a mumukshu, not just a person who wants to gain knowledge. That is a jignasu. So, there are different levels of seekers, the adhikaris, they are, and different ways to understand. So, one way to understand is this, where one is a uh, pamara. Pamara means a person who is fully indulgent, extroverted, wants to just eat, drink, be merry, enjoy life, and doesn't even bother about whether I'm doing things righteously or not, whether my actions are hurting others, insensitive to everything, anyhow, eat, drink, be merry, do any kind of corruption, do any violence, break relationships, hurt people, but my life I have to enjoy. Pamara is called. Then Vishayi is one level better, where a person says, I want to enjoy, but I will not hurt people, I will not break morality, I will enjoy in a dharmic way. But focus is still enjoyment. Then comes sadhak, one who sees that I am enjoying, I enjoyed so many things, I attained what I wanted some name, fame, house, money, all this. I have got it in a dharmic way also, but it is not giving fulfillment. So one turns within and then one seeks that if it is not outside, then I should turn within. So one starts the spiritual path, sadhak. Then, as the intensity of the sadhak increases, the jignyasa increases. I want to know. A person becomes jignasu. One may go to a teacher as a sadhak also, as a jignasu also, or as a mumukshu, whichever way one goes. One may go even as a pamara, but one will transform. Whenever, if one goes to the teacher in whichever state, from there one will evolve. But the best use of the opportunity with a teacher is when I become mumukshu. So when a jignasu is there, I want to know intellectually, I have a thirst to know, and focus is on the knowledge, no doubt, but it is not that I want only mukti. And one is still learning, one is still gaining knowledge. As one keeps gaining knowledge, intensity of that seeking increases, because finally one realizes that what is mumukshutvam? It is not that I, Mr. So and so, want something which is objective. It is not that ahankara. See, in every other achievement, I remains as it is intact, and we gain something else. Then, of course, that I changes. So, if I am poor, then I work hard, I get the money. Now I became rich. So, my understanding about I has changed because of that, but I is still there. I did not have a certain knowledge. I got the knowledge, so now I'm more knowledgeable. Let us say anything, physics, chemistry, biology, art, literature, anything. I still is there. Same way, I was not feeling loved, now I feel loved. This such and such person has come into my life, or people have become more loving to me. I feeling more comfortable, more secure. I is still there. So is Vedant also like that. So I want to be free. I want to break free. Young people, when we are young, we have that all thoughts in our mind. Break free. Shackles are there upon me. Society has put so many shackles, so many rules. I don't like this. I will do my life, my rules. I will live the way I want. I am a free bird. In that also I is there. What is mumukshutvam? I disappears. Freedom from mind is called mumukshutvam. Swamiji, that means I become mindless? No, no. Attachment to that mind, that I am this mind. I am Mr. So and so. My identity is coming from there. That identity, what we spoke about, that is gone. This is an equipment, I am using it. I am something else. So freedom from mind, freedom from that false identification that I am this jiva, where this I is no more there. So that's why that it is a path of surrender, it's a path of letting go. And the Upanishad itself will say, Tyage naike amritatva manashuhu. So with that determination, one who sits to let go of this false identification and this insistence and the jiva bhav, drop it. That person is a mumukshu. So mumukshu is not that I want freedom. Freedom from I is mumukshu. One who wants intensely to just let go of this I. Swamiji, you are contradicting. One who is wanting is I, no? That one who is wanting I, that he has to let go of this I intensely. See, that's a play of language, a play of words. When one is intensely wanting to sleep, now I want to sleep. And how will sleep come? Only when that I will become dormant, then sleep will come. But I want sleep. So in that the I is there. So how will that I go? Array, that intense wanting for sleep, in that letting go of that small I will just happen. One is sucked into sleep. Same way, when we are intensely seeking I want self, all other thoughts, everything else goes. One intensely is contemplating then. When listening to the teacher, if one is ready, instantly the realization happens, one lets go, I am not this, mukta. But if that intensity is, if that mumukshutvam and purity is not there, then one has to reflect and then contemplate. So in that contemplation, one is saying, I am not this body, mind, intellect, I am Supreme Brahman, and let go. It will just happen. That knowledge is called Upanishad. When with this attitude one sits at the feet of a teacher, that I want realization, in which this I will go. I will go, want will go, realization remains. That knowledge is Upanishad. So it is intuitive insight that arises, because it is already our nature. It is not to be created, it is not to be attained, it is not to be abandoned, it is not heya, not upadeya, it is not to be gained, not to be dropped. It is there, our true nature. The knowledge which will reveal that to us and destroy that ignorance. So the word Upanishad in Kathopanishad, Shankaracharya said the word Upanishad, in that the Sad Dhatu is there. Upa, Ni and Sad. Sad means to sit. But with the Sandhi, when it happens, then it becomes Upanishad. So Upani, Upa is near, Ni is with firm determination. One sits at the feet of the teacher, and then what will this knowledge do? So, first of all, he says that this is the knowledge which will Brahma Gamayati. It will make us realize the self. Gamayati means cause to go. Cause to go meaning from the false identification that I am the Jiva, it will make us realize I am Brahman. No karma will do that. Any amount of karma I do, the false notions about Ahankara will not go, about Atma will not go. No amount of upasana also will make it go. I may say I am a devotee of Shiva, or I am worshipping Indra, or I am worshipping, any other form, let us say Surya, and I may do upasana. It is no doubt a better option, and I am having a certain bhavana, certain surrender, and I think of myself not as a limited jiva. I think of myself as a devotee of the Lord and surrender to that Lord, etc. So upasak also is there, the feeling is there, devotion is there, but the I is still there. And my goal may be go to the world of the upasya, etc., and be close to the Lord, look like the Lord, interact with the Lord, obtain the grace of the Lord, all that. Still, who am I in my true nature? That is not revealed. Either the Guru will reveal that to us, or Bhagavan has to reveal. Both are one and the same. Bhagavan and Guru are not different. And so, for the Upasak, Bhagavan will reveal at the right time, and that Upasak also will realize, Arey, I and the Lord are essentially one. That knowledge which removes this false notion, that is Upanishad. Upasana by itself will not remove the root cause, which is ignorance. The karmas that we do, however spiritual they may be, also by itself will not remove. Which is why Shankaracharya ji says that, in Bhari Govindam he says, Kurute Ganga Sagara Gamanam Vrata Paripalanam Athava Danam Jnana Vihina Sarvamatena Bhajatina Muktim Janma Shatena. In 100 lives also, without knowledge, mukti is not possible. One may do Ganga Sagar Yatra, one may do Vrata, Ekadashi Vrat, Maun Vrat, Chandrayan Vrat, like that, so many Vratas one may do. Dan one may do. So any spiritual practice one may do, but by itself it will not unless realization, unless knowledge of the self arises. So that knowledge, Brahma Gamayati, which helps us to go beyond this ignorance and realize the self. First meaning of Sad is Gati. Second meaning of Sad is Avasadana. Shaithilya Apadanena. It will loosen bondage. One is very rigid, fixed. It will shake us up, make us question, who am I? Today we have fixed knowledge. I am this only. We are so rooted in that. And if the first time anybody hears you are not this, one will one will definitely think the speaker is mad. How can they say I am not this? And the world is not come into being, or the world is an illusion. We are so conditioned strongly to think this is real. So Bhagavan, when he gives this knowledge, first time one feels, oh, one is, one may be shocked also, one may be confused also. So many reactions can happen. What are they saying? One may doubt the sanity of that opposite person. But as one listens to understand the logic behind it and does some introspection, then one realizes, yes, slowly that, if you want to uproot something, you have to shake it first. Once it is shaken up, it becomes loose, pull it out, uprooted fully. Here we want to uproot, we don't want to only cut. We cut something, again it will start growing. One branch is cut, the tree grows from other sides. So what we are doing, we saw earlier about relief. We do relief methods, we do in the samsara. Dukkha we feel, we do relief methods, but cure we need. So that curing is uprooting. So uprooting this, for that loosening is required, which is this, Shaithilya Padanena. So Gati, which helps us to realize the self, which loosens bondage, that is Avasadana, and Visharana. So he says Visharana is Samsara Bijasya Vinashad Himsanad. The root cause of samsara is destroyed once and for all. Himsanad, destroyed, Vinashat, completely destroyed. It will not come back again. Sometimes destruction is such that one comes back. It revives. This is complete destruction, Vinashat. Vishesha Nasha. It's not only ordinary Nasha. It's not just Himsa means to cut it or destroy it. It is destroying in such a way that it will never come back. Brahmagyan will destroy avidya, that one will no more fall back into the wrong notion that I am this jiva and this world is real. That is completely destroyed. How? Because the root cause is destroyed. Ignorance is destroyed. So why is the ignorance the root cause? I'm just going to share. See, some of these are basic things which is good to revise our fundamentals. Some of you may be aware of this, some of you may be not aware of this. So, but we will go through it again because we are doing our study in a systematic way. This is called as the ignorance cycle. I'm just going to share that. Okay, so this is the ignorance cycle. What is this? So we have this first cycle is here. We do karma, each one based on their desires, have thoughts. So if I want some sense enjoyment, some money, some power, some position, whatever I want, child, progeny, anything. So based on the desire, we have thoughts. One desire can lead to lots of thoughts. And those thoughts, when we sustain, they will become actions. Actions, when we do, they will bring some results, and the results being temporary, as we saw in the beginning of this class, there will be a purnatva, so there is some uh, tripti is not there, so again one seeks something else. That creates a vasana. Now, why does a person seek certain desires? Why each of us are different from the other? Because our desires are different. Why are our desires different? Because our tendencies are different. Our vasanas are different. Vasanas are the unmanifest tendencies. In Vedanta, we call them as the causal body. They are the cause. Vasana is the cause for this. The box is there. No, you can see the whole line. No, ignorance of the self. You are able to see. That's the first line. Somebody is saying they can't see. If you can't see, then you please figure out your phone or your tablet, whatever it is. The first line is this: ignorance of the self. No, I don't know what else the change in the setting I can do. I'm just increasing the box size. All right. So ignorance of the self. So that is the first line, right? So we came to this part where each of us are different from the other because of our desires. And why are desires different? Because vasana is different in each of us. And these vasanas we have accumulated over many human lives. So from the animal realm, when we evolve, it is a natural evolution. It comes up to this human body, first human body. Again, please understand all this first human body and all that is in a particular context only. So if we consider a theory of evolution and creation as real, then we say yes, from unicellular one has evolved, come to the human body. Till that level, all the evolution has happened by the push of nature, by the it is not a conscious evolution. It is a instinctive evolution that happens because of nature. Prakriti makes that happen. It is not one is willing to evolve and change and become something better, because that level of self awareness only is not there. So from then one has come to first human body when buddhi is there, and through that buddhi self awareness has come. And that self awareness when we have, naturally then we have karta bhav, I am the doer, I am the enjoyer, and whatever karmas we have done in that, coming from animal realms, the mind is the same. So that mind still has instinctiveness, impulsiveness, it is still extroverted, wants to enjoy from the world outside. So whatever karmas we have done in that attitude, that creates vasanas, because the cycle, no, desire, thoughts, action, results. So one has accumulated many vasanas through many human lives, and through trial and error, many things one has understood, this is good, this is not good. Then even through social upbringing, the conditionings, the education, the sometimes satsang comes into one's life at some point. So through all that, one's refinement of right and wrong, and then punya, papa, etc. has happened. So over a march of time, in many human lives, we have created all these vasanas, and those are the tendencies which will influence our desires, thoughts, actions, give us the result, and again this new asana starts. So a spiritual seeker who has understood this, whether it is through satsang, whether it is through one's own reflection, or a both combination, one wants to know ki this is vasana is there, but what is the cause? One still wants to go deeper. So when one feels incomplete, then to become complete, one wants certain things. So somebody as per their vasana will seek some enjoyment in a movie, somebody as per that one will seek in some food, in some dance, some music, some fame, some power. Each one seeks differently. But why do I seek differently? Because I feel incomplete. In deep sleep, when I don't feel incomplete, I'm not seeking. So that incompleteness brings the vasana. I am not aware of the state of incompleteness in the deep sleep state, so I'm not aware of the vasana. That's why it is unmanifest. Why do I feel incomplete? Because I identify with the BMI, then I feel incomplete. So in deep sleep, no identification, so no incompleteness. So vasana is also dormant. I don't experience it. Now, when I identify in the waking state or dream state, I identify with some the BMI, then I feel incomplete, then I want completeness, then the other cycles manifests. Tendency, desire, thoughts, action, result, this manifests. So why do I identify with the BMI? Because I don't know who am I. So the avidya is there. So the root cause of sorrow is this ignorance of the self. Till this ignorance is not removed, the rest of it will continue. So one tries to do some relief methods only. When one says that, I want to improve my actions, then my life will improve, and improve my thoughts, and my life will improve, and change the desires, the life will improve. At some level, no doubt, all that is relevant, applicable, and it is helpful. But at a certain deeper level, then we understand that, okay, my life has improved, but I still am a limited being. I still feel unfulfilled. There is emptiness. Now, one who wants to inquire and remove this, the knowledge which will destroy the root cause of sorrow, which is ignorance of the self. That's why I say that is visharana, samsara bijasya vinashat. The bija. If the seed is destroyed, then the tree, the plant, the tree and the trunk and the branch and the flowers and all that, everything gone. That example may have a limitation because that doesn't fructify at all. Here it's already fructified. So we have to remove completely from the root, destroy it, uproot it. And so that knowledge is called Upanishad. Now, this is knowledge which is not written by human beings. It may have been compiled by Bhagavan Vedavyasji, but it is a revealed knowledge. That's why it is called Shruti. Shruti does not mean literally one has heard it through the years. One Akashvani happened and Gayatri Mantra was revealed to Vishwamitra Rishi. He was in meditation. Suddenly, one lightning happened and there was a bright, brilliant form of one Devi who came and she uttered the Gayatri Mantra and Vishwamitra heard it. It is not like that, some drama and all. In quiet moments, some knowledge is revealed. Mantras are revealed as it is. It is not that he heard the mantra, he grasped some secret about the universe and then thought about it and expressed it in Sanskrit language as per his vocabulary. Literally, the mantra is revealed as it is. So, rishis, that's why a rishi is called mantra drashta, not a mantra karta. He is not a person who created that mantra or composed that mantra. Mantra is revealed to that person. So Vedic mantras are revelations. Upanishad comes under the Veda only as a part of the Veda, Vedanta we saw. So all these mantras are revealed knowledge. And some places we know the Rishi, some places we don't know. And so this understanding we should have that this is who has revealed, Bhagwan himself has revealed. So who is the author of the Upanishads? Bhagwan is the author. A Rishi to whom it is revealed. So Kathaka Rishi to whom the knowledge is revealed, he is not the author of it. He is the medium through which the Kathopanishad has got revealed. The author is Bhagwan. And Vedavyasji may be the compiler of it because till that point in time where he compiled it in the book form, it is in the oral tradition. The disciple learns it from the teacher, memorizes it, reflects upon it, masters it, passes it on to the next student. So through Guru Shishya Parampara, this knowledge has been continuously passed on. And so it is, till then it was, student heard it from the teacher. So that is another reason why it is called Shruti. Bhagwan reveals this to the minds which are highly evolved, purified, single pointed, etc. So that is one reason why it is called Shruti. Second is the student has heard it from the teacher. And the student passes it on to the next generation. That is called the Guru Shishya Parampara. So again it is called Shruti. And third, all knowledge is gained by listening only. We will come to that. The Upanishad itself begins, the Shanti mantra begins with that Bhadram Karnebhih shrnuyama devah. May we hear what is auspicious. So we will come to that. So this knowledge is Shruti. And Vedavyasji later compiled it in the book form. So Vedavyasji also is not the author. He is a compiler. Vyasa literally means compiler. One meaning of Vyasa is compiler. So he is the one who compiled. Otherwise his actual name is Krishna Dvaipayana. Vyasa is a title given to him. Like we say, he is a stenographer, he is a typist, he is a computer operator, he is a data entry operator. One designation is there. No? Like that, Vyasa is actually a designation. Means a compiler. And what did he compile? Veda. So he is not the author, he is a compiler. And hence, because he compiled the Vedas, classified them into four and made them into specific sections. So Mantra and Brahmana, then Aranyaka, then Upanishad, then, so he's a compiler who has compiled it beautifully. So who are the authors of the Veda? Who is the author of the Veda? Bhagwan. Who is the author of Upanishad? Bhagwan. There may be a rishi for a mantra and we always, suppose we do a japa, etc., then we always remember. Suppose we say Om. Now when we do japa, we remember. In Nyasa, we remember. Who is the devata? Paramatma devata. Brahma is the rishi. Omkarasya Brahma rishi. Paramatma devata. Anushtup chandaha. So we remember all that. And then we start the japa. Now, here we have to know one more aspect here, that because the mantras are revelations, what is the significance of the revelation? It does not have the pollution of the human intellect. And that's why it is a revelation, and that is why it will help us to go beyond the buddhi also. Because human buddhi has certain weaknesses, certain raga, dvesha it may have, it may not be single pointed, it may not have purity. And so, whatever is passing through such an equipment will be colored by it. Like when we see the world through glasses which are, let us say, tinted with black color, then everything appears dark to us. Green color, everything appears green to us. Same way, our buddhi has the tint of raga and dvesha. So, one sees things colored by that. One will write also colored based on that. So many people write on Ramayana, right? They write based on their thinking. So some people glorify Ravana. Oh, Ravana was such a great man. Because they are thinking from their buddhi. So to them, Ravana appears great as per their understanding. How Tulsidas ji wrote, Valmiki Rishi wrote is very different. How this somebody else is writing about it. And today, in the name of creative liberty, anything one is writing. Whether it is dharmic, whether it is even appropriate, one doesn't understand. And Bhagwan Ram gets criticized, and people take pride in saying, I adore Ravan. I am not Ram like. Ram is more idealistic. Ram suffered whole life. Ram, I don't want to become like Ram. Whole purpose defeated of Ramayana. Anyway, so that is called human buddhi, the limitation, the coloring, conditioning. Revealed knowledge does not have that. It is revealed only to those minds which are pure. And those minds which are pure because they don't have the ahankar, they don't have raga and dvesha, etc. And so as the mantra is revealed, that way they share it. They don't add their masala to it and customize it as per their flavor. So this is Vishwamitra flavored Brahmagyan. That is Vashishta flavored Brahmagyan. No, same Brahmagyan it is. So all Upanishads will reveal the same knowledge of the truth. Mantras are different, some methodology is different, but knowledge of the truth is the same. And methodology is different because people are of different temperaments. That's the plurality and that's the beauty. Otherwise, the truth is one and the same. And so, Shruti, this is the Upanishadic knowledge, which is revealed knowledge. Now, these Upanishads are more than 280 are found. There are supposed to be more than 1,000 Upanishads may be there because our Vedic literature was very vast, voluminous. So much has got destroyed because of invasions, and people have come, destroyed, burnt our libraries, killed so many of the Brahmanas, people who were protectors of the Veda, living the Veda, all that has happened. So we have lost a lot of our precious literature. What is available is 10%. And imagine that 10% is so glorious, what we already have. What it would be when it was full and people were living that way of life. Of course, through time, many things deteriorate, and so the Vedic culture also went through deterioration. But time to time, great masters have come to revive it, to reinstill the essential spirit of it, and hence the Sanatan Dharma survived. And we have given, our ancestors have given a lot of sacrifice to protect this. This is our gift to the world. Brahma Vidya is our gift to the whole world. Even today, people come to Bharat to know this truth. They may come for many other reasons, but specifically Brahmagyan. This is a hallowed land. To be born in Bharat is a great uh, sign of great blessing, punya. And not only as a geographical boundary, this Bharat, that has its own greatness because rishis are born. Bhagwan has taken avatar here. He has traveled across this land, followed. I mean, we follow his footprints and go to sacred places. Oh, Bhagwan was here and he came here, and this is a temple and all that. But even as Bharat is not just a physical land, Bharat is the land where people revel in knowledge and all types of knowledge. In this specifically, the all knowledge of all knowledge is Brahma Vidya. In the Gita, Bhagavan says, Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam. I am that knowledge of the self amongst all knowledge. Adhi means inside, Atma is the self. the self within. That knowledge, Brahma Vidya it is. The king of all knowledges, Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam. And so that knowledge is the Upanishadic knowledge revealed to the great rishis. 280 of these Upanishads are known, accepted by all. In that 280 are unearthed, 108 are complete, available. Some commentaries also are there on all these 108. And in those, 11 are considered major Upanishads. So, what is the meaning of major? Major means three great acharyas of three schools of Vedant. Advait Vedant, Shankaracharya ji, Madhvacharya ji for Dvait Vedant, and Vishishta Advait Vedant is Ramanujacharya ji. These are three great acharyas. Shankaracharya ji's commentary is available on all the 11, and others have given, Ramanujacharya ji, Madhvacharya ji, they have not given verse by verse full commentary, but some notes are available, their comments are available. On some they have given, on some they have given notes, but they have commented on the Upanishads. These are considered 11 major Upanishads. What are they? Isha, Kena, Katha, Aitareya, Taittiriya, Mundaka, Mandukya, Brihadaranyaka, Chandogya, this Shvetashvatara, and one more. Isha, Kena, Katha, Aitareya, Taittiriya, Mundaka, Mandukya, Brihadaranyaka, Chandogya, Shvetashvatar. I'm forgetting one more. The 11. If we consider Shvetashvatara, some people can Prashna. If we consider Shvetashvatara as some people don't consider it as a major Upanishad, then there are 10. Otherwise 11. So they are, no, Kaivalya is not a major Upanishad. Prashna, I was missing Prashna. Kaivalya is a minor Upanishad. Kaivalya Upanishad, so what is the difference between major and minor? See, the content, as I said, the revelation is the same about Brahman, about Atma, about the oneness of Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara. Jiva, Brahma, Ikya is the main purpose of the Upanishad. But the commentary is available, notes are available on these 11 Upanishads by these three great acharyas of these three different schools of Vedant. So they are called major Upanishads. Shankaracharya's commentary is not there on Kaivalya Upanishad. So Kaivalya Upanishad, Surya Upanishad, the Amrit Bindu Upanishad, Garbha Upanishad, like that, so many Upanishads are there. Those are called minor Upanishads. Please understand, minor does not mean that, oh, this is not this is insignificant. I don't want to study this. No. Great. Same knowledge is revealed here also. Just that you see how the masters have written commentary on it. It's not easy to do the work that they did, especially Shankaracharya ji went around the country, did so much to revive Sanatana Dharma, single-handedly brought the whole revival and brought back the Hindus who had gone away into Buddhism and who had stopped following the Vedic Dharma in its essence. They were following the decadent Vedic Dharma. So he revived the Sanatana Dharma. In that he wrote commentaries on the Vishnu Sahasranam and Brahma Sutras and Upanishads and the Gita and made so many compositions, and how much work that person has done, a great master. So he wrote on 11. These 11 itself is not easy. Some of them are so voluminous, Brihadaranyaka is so huge. But he wrote. So just because he didn't write on this does not mean that it is any lesser. So that is one aspect to understand about major and minor. And if you read Gurudev's introduction, very beautifully he says in this that the Upanishads are not creedal. They are not the hasty declarations of a man of wisdom under some divine urge. They in themselves constitute a science, the science of life. So they are not creedal, they are universal in their message. Yes, it is presented in Sanskrit language, mantras, because the language has that sophistication, that subtlety, the depth to reveal this truth. Truth is beyond any words, beyond any language, anyways. But certain language can help the mind to go up to the frontiers and transcend it. Contemplative language. Gurudev used to say, contemplative master speaking to a student who has prepared oneself thoroughly. So, a contemplative student, contemplative teacher, when they both meet, the discussion that happens between them is the Upanishad. So, the language is of contemplation. Like two scientists, when they meet, two physicists, if they meet, they will use the language of physics. They will use terminologies, terms of physics. Now, you and I may not understand, what are they talking? Two lawyers, if they meet, they will use the language of law. They may have to tell a simple thing that, I am selling this to you, but that sentence, I am selling this to you, in the language of law, if you read, headache will come. With all the technical terminology, one full page, there will be one sentence. The essence of it is what? I am selling this to you. You are the buyer, I am the seller. But full terms, conditions, this, that, everything, and disclaimer, and this penalty clause, and this clause, that clause, everything will be put into that. That is the language of law. So, contemplative student meeting a contemplative master, wanting to know the self, the language the student, a teacher will use to communicate to the student is language of contemplation. Sanskrit has that ability to present that. And so it is in Sanskrit, but otherwise Upanishads are not creedal. They are not limited to Hindus or to only certain class of people in the Hindus. It is universal message because the nature of each of us is Brahman. So now having said that, this tradition in our culture is every Upanishad, before we sit to study, the teacher and the student will chant the Shanti mantra, because the minds may have come from different backgrounds doing different things, and the tuning has to happen between the teacher and the student so that the knowledge flows from the teacher to the student is able to grasp, and the right attitude and what we saw, no, the intensity, etc., comes when one is sitting there with that deep desire to know the self, etc. Then for that the Shanti mantra is chanted. So different Upanishads will have different Shanti mantras. The Upanishads of a particular Veda will have a particular Shanti mantra. Generally, sometimes will be little different also. But like we find this Kaivalya Upanishad is in this Atharva Veda. So the Atharva Veda Upanishads will have this as a Shanti mantra. So Mandukya Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, all these will have Bhadram Karnebhih as the Shanti mantra. Yajurvedam will have Shanno Mitra Shambarunaha or Sahana Vavatu as the Shanti mantra there. Apyayantu Mamangani, Samaveda Upanishads, like Upanishad, will have that as a Shanti mantra. Purnamada Purnamidam, so the Rig Veda, so Ishavasya Upanishad. So each Veda has different Upanishads, and those Upanishads have specific Shanti mantras. And so here we have, say like Ganapati Atharva Shirsha Upanishad. It is Atharva Shirsha. So there it will again begin with Bhadram Karnebhih shrnuyama devah. So Kaivalya belongs to the Atharva Veda. So we have this as the Shanti mantra. So today we will just chant the Shanti mantra. Next class we will actually go into the meaning of it. Om Bhadram Karnebhih shrnuyama devah. Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraha. स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति. So this is the mantra to bring peace of mind. And Gurudev used to say this, that how do we say Shanti? We should listen to Gurudev saying. So he'll say Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Not Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Generally we say like that and we end the class. No, it is supposed to make us quiet. That's why Shanti mantra. Peace is invoked in the mind, and one also says Shanti from things outside, from the cosmic forces, from the beings outside, from the subjective disturbances. So peace, peace, peace. So now more about the Shanti mantra we will take up in our next class. You can read, if you have finished the introduction, you can read the Shanti mantra, the commentary of that also, that we will take up in the next class. If there are any questions, you are welcome to ask. Raise your hand and ask. All right. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Okay, so there's some question which has come. Why are there different Shanti mantras for each Upanishad? So there are different Shanti mantras because the way in which Vedavyasji compiled, he gave a structure, no? So Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharva Veda. So he created the structure. So he has classified. That is one reason. Then the mantras which are revealed to different rishis, they are revealed at different points in time, there is no doubt. And when the teacher and the student are sitting together to study the Upanishad, as we see, the students have come from different backgrounds. So sometimes it happens that the students are very highly subtle, already prepared. Then let us say mantra like Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat, that is a mantra which they chant. Sometimes it is that the student needs a certain more fine tuning, etc. So then, like this, in this Shanti mantra of Atharva Shirsha Upanishad, Atharva Veda, one will see, one who is asking for, may my limbs be healthy, may I live a whole life properly, may I hear auspicious, may I see auspicious. So one is praying to get certain blessings. One is praying to remove certain negative thought processes. One is praying to invoke the grace of the devatas also. So it depends also on the students. And third is that they are revelations as it is. So the mantras have been revealed to the rishi with the Shanti mantra. So like you will find Sahana Bhavatu. Sahana Bhavatu is a part of the Taittiriya Upanishad. So you will find in that Taittiriya Upanishad this, Shikshavalli, then so the third one is the Brahmananda Valli, and the second one, in the second one we will find the Sahana Bhavatu. It begins with Sahana Bhavatu. The Shikshavalli, so Brahmagyana Valli and Brahmananda Valli. So Shikshavalli has Om Shanno Mitra Sham Varunaha. Then this Brahmagyana Valli Brahmagnana Valli. So yeah, so that is the second Valli, which will be of Sahana Bhavatu will be the mantra there. So Kathopanishad, if you see Sahana Bhavatu is the mantra there. So the revelation has happened with the Shanti mantra. So Bhagwan revealed that in that way. So that's why there are these different Shanti mantras in different Upanishads. So it is based on Adhikari also, it is based on the revelation by Bhagwan also, and then Vedavyaji has put it all together. So that's what I understand. Thank you, Hari Om. You should lift your hand and ask the question, because if you put in the chat, one has to read that. Okay. So Purnamidam may be chanted at the start of satsang instead of end. Yes, Purnamada is a Shanti mantra actually. It's not to say at the end only. That is one of the things, traditions we are following now. So we are chanting at the end of the session, but it's not meant to indicate end of the session. It is meant to indicate that Brahman is Purnam, you are that Purnam, and there is no creation at all. Purna alone is always. It's the highest knowledge. So it's meant for that. But Purna word also means end. So at the end of the session, one is chanting it. Right? It's not meant to indicate only end of the session. So you can chant in the beginning, and in fact, we chant always in the beginning when we study Ishavasya, we start with Purnamada. All right. Hari Om.